Hello, hello, my dear Cancer. This is your love and spirituality reading for the time between October 1 and October 15, 2017, with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. So I use the Legacy of the Divine Tarot, and I will start shuffling your cards. Oh wow! I call the Divine with love and light, and I call the 4 archangels. There you came also, underneath the Queen of Wands. And I call the 4 elements, no, the 4 archangels in the 4 corners of the world. And I call the 6 elements: earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether, to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Cancer viewers. Oh, it's getting fiery again. I want my dear Cancer to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success, to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. We have the Lovers here going to a part of the Lion's Gate, but it's something missing here. It's a block in this Lion's Gate for you, Cancer, with the 2 of Swords. It might be a person in your life, possibly an air sign blocking, or some other person that's a little bit careful, very logic, doesn't want to make a fuss. That might be you. I hope I said the whole prayer here, that you walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. So I also want to take the chance to tell you that the Sun moves from Virgo to Libra the 22nd of September, and from Libra to Scorpio the 23rd of October. Mercury travels together with the Sun. It moves into Libra September 30 and into Scorpio October 17, where it joins there with Jupiter that moved into Scorpio from Libra 12th of October. That was a big shift, since Jupiter is a very slow going planet. Here we have the 6 of Wands and 3 of Wands. So six of Wands is when your soul goes down in your body and you start to express your own divine will, and this is your goal. You want to it's something specific you want your ships to come in with, and you are kind of waiting for this ship to come in here. And I was talking about Jupiter. Jupiter is about luck and expansion, so you want to change and expand your life in some way. Sun, Mercury and Jupiter oppose Uranus in Aries. Together, Mercury and Sun also squares Pluto in Capricorn together. Mars and Venus is in Virgo. And Venus travels into Libra October 15, and Mars moves into Libra October 21st. We will have the first new moon on the cusp Libra Scorpio September 20. Let's see if I can remember the date. It's the 16th today, so it's 4 days from now. We'll have the Libra Scorpio new moon, and then we will have a full moon in Aries October 5, and the second new moon will be in Libra October 19, and that will be a rather powerful day with both the new moon and Sun here in Libra, and Jupiter and Mercury here in Scorpio, all opposing retrograde Uranus in Aries. So it's kind of the hangman illumination. Something's going to happen with the divine masculine. Maybe something new is being born. Something else I wanted to say about that. Well, I don't remember. So, yes, okay. 19. I'm pretty sure Uranus is going to be fully illuminated by the Sun that day, as well as having the new moon and everything. So powerful day again, 19th of October. So I will just tune into your reading, Cancer, and then we continue. This tuning in I'm doing, it's actually a technique I have learned, where you count down 3, 2, 1, and then you are suddenly in a very meditative state. It's like I have programmed myself to quickly like this go into the meditative state, changing my brain waves a little bit. So, okay, this is the future, and this is the now, and here you have the past. The past is probably September, might go into August as well. If it's major arcana cards, it might be stretching over bigger chunks of time, even past lives. It's usually some kind of circle you are going through with your spiritual growth. And here we have the now, and it's the first, hopefully the first part of October 2017. And it's a forecast, so if you're looking in September, you're not supposed to recognize yourself in this. But sometimes we are working on long-term projects, so it's kind of the same thing going on all the time for a longer period of time. And you might also recognize this because it's a repetitive pattern in your life. And for some of you, you will be front runners, going ahead for the others, making way. It's like the first drop of water when it has rained in the desert that's collecting like this. The first drops are making way for more drops, and eventually it will be a river there. So it needs to be someone that goes before. And here we have the future. So the future is the second part of October and into November probably. Okay, so the first card for you, my dear Cancer, is Seven of Wands. So Seven of Wands is standing up for what you believe in and protecting that, even in the midst of very much opposition. So to do something like this is very brave, and it requires courage. But sometimes you do this also towards good forces, like maybe there's a suitor in your life that want to come in, but you say no because you're afraid. You don't want to let someone into your safety zone, and it might be adventures that you don't want to listen to, or even your own intuition, or your own ignition, or your own longing or needs might be treated like this as well. But the Seven of Wands is a very powerful card for being a very strong warrior and standing up for what you believe in and who you are first and foremost. So there's also always one up and down side of things. And here we have the High Priestess showing a lot of self-respect and courage, because the High Priestess doesn't work underneath a human law. She's working underneath the divine law. So she doesn't care so much for what humans think of her or how they see her, because she knows that this life here, it's temporary. It's something that we do to get more experience to. It's like sparkles of the divine going down as different entities, like this beautiful play of life called Leela, and we are by this we are being able to see ourselves through others. We can have this contrasts that make us see ourselves much more better. So she knows it's just a game, and she doesn't take things too seriously, but she takes the divine very seriously, but not maybe so much human matters. It's like she don't mind what kind of curveball the divine is sending her, or what kind of opposition she might face with other people, because she knows that energy is eternal, and this too shall pass. So she's not easily rocked, standing here in the doorway to this temple. So not everyone is allowed into your life. They kind of need to listen to you and respect your boundaries. And if not, you are not going to be victimized by anyone. So this is very strong here, Cancer. And you can see she's totally immersed in water, so you haven't lost your ability to feel your feelings or being in emotion. On the contrary, She's like an antenna being dropped down in the liquids. And also here we have the owl, the wisdom owl, her thoughts, her mind. So it's like she's this telephone, cell phone antenna. You can see those big ones with lightnings, so lights, so the airplanes won't fly into them. And she's like this, she's just taking in everything and processing it. So she's really she's the archetype of the witch. We want to have the witch, the child, the witch, and the warrior to be like somewhat complete, because the child is kind of the antenna, and the witch is the one that interprets this, what the liquid and the mind and everything feels, the pure essence, this inner child essence is very fragile, it's very beautiful, it's so vibrant, and it can feel everything. And that might make you very highly sensitive, and that's very good when you're supposed to be an antenna. So, and the warrior, this is the one that are supposed to, what the child and the witch is coming forth with, he is supposed to defend or take action and make it real. So we need those three archetypes to be able to kind of make our own imprint in the creation. So she has also, her soul has gone down in her body, much what we saw with the Six of Wands that came before the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is the increasing of the energy. Six of Wands, you are more cool and just like, this is who I am, and I'm holding my head up high, and I'm showing you the truth of what I am, and I'm standing for this, my moral values and beliefs. The Seven of Wands is an increasing of energy when you also need to defend those viewpoints that you have. And the High Priestess has a lot of experience from past lives, and she has a lot of visions for the future, so a lot of things that she's here to do. And her water is being pulled by the moon, by the divine, so it's kind of giving her the signals necessary, maybe a stomach that's turning a little bit, and then she knows, now I need to be aware something important is about to happen. So she's getting like extra awareness, so she's not being freaked out by that stomach feeling. It's her telepathic system which is communicating with the rest of the universe. It's nothing to be afraid of. And she's enlightened. You can see this on her forehead, her third eye being opened. So this is a very good card, especially when you are walking on the divine path and you're facing some opposition. The High Priestess, she is totally in her self-respect. And here we have the Sun. So the Sun again, the Sun is Leo. You have the Six of Wands and the Three of Wands being the Sun's rays. And here might be the Sun's rays being denied if you are not listening to yourself and your own signals that the High Priestess is picking up through the vibrant awareness of your inner child. And the Sun is your soul, so it's showing you which way you should go. And it might be talking about some timing here with the soul here and the soul here. It's almost like a clock, what I'm feeling, and the planets, how they move. It's also like a clock. So everything is kind of happening here with divine timing, and it's like you're very sure, or you see things very clear, and it's not much doubt. Even if your world is in chaos, you don't doubt where you are heading, or maybe even you doubt where you're heading, but you still trust your instincts that comes and lead you like one step, two step, three step. Maybe you don't see the future at all, you just trust the steps that you are guided to take. And here we have also the World card, again emphasizing this, that you are being on your highest path towards your highest destiny, that you're working together with the divine will. And the World card is like a final test, is a closure. So you might need do some examina before you are freed from this karmic cycle that you have been in, or this learning cycle that you have been in. The 21 world is connected to the Empress, so we have both the females here, the High Priestess and the Empress. The world is when you have gone from one state of being to another, so it might be like rising your vibration until the next state or the next evolutionary step. So it's very beautiful. Yes, so we have both Lilith and Eve here, together with the sun. That's your spark of the divine. And here we have the 5 of coins. So all in this, when you are so beautiful and divine, still not feeling loved by the human population. And that might, my friends, is something that we have learned from history, that people that do these changes first, or very like in the front, they are not being well received. You can see this in so many examples. And after first, when this person or persons have passed away, their teaching is implied upon earth. So it's not always you can live through the successes of your work. Maybe it will just come others to gain, but it's no saying that you will be born again and be gained with this. But I'm thinking about people saying, well, maybe the earth isn't flat, maybe it's round, and they are not appreciated for this. They are rather persecuted for this. Any new vision is dangerous in the face of authority. And we have a 5 here connecting to authority. That's the high priest. We are in a patriarchal society, so the high priest, the male authority, is the one that has the power currently. And we can see with all the 5s, here we have 5 of coins. Not everyone is led into the sanctuary. Someone is not passing through because they are not good enough in the eyes of authority. And we also have 5 of swords. When you kind of smack someone else in the head with your beliefs, you want them to change their beliefs into what you believe. And everyone is free to believe and feel whatever they want, as long as they don't put crap in the front of other people. And that is what we do with the 5 of swords, put a crap in front of other people, trying to make their lives miserable, with blaming them or judging them in different ways. That's not very healthy. We also have the 5 of wands. That might be rather healthy competition sometimes that will lead to something fruitful, but it's still competition. We also have the 5 of cups when you're very disappointed, maybe because you lose this competition, or because someone backstabbed you with the 5 of swords. So here's the 5 of coins, and yes, it's much what we have seen historical, that even if you are doing this, you are going to, even if you are walking here, the divine road, you're totally in focus with the divine, you're not in tune with the human population or their current view of things. So you will be seen as someone that's on the outside, and you might be on the outside looking in. And we can see this also on the Jesus icon. He wasn't very well received by the human population, even though he came with a like forecast for our own human evolution. He showed us where we should be in 2,000 years, and here we are, really trying to become like this divine presence, or finding this divine presence within us, and still we are not well received. So this might be a force in your life coming in, and maybe you're not feeling like as good as it, or you don't understand what's happening, and therefore you feel left out in the cold. That's also a possibility. It might also be that you are making other people feel on the outside because you're so glorious here. So you need to be aware of what's happening and going on in your life, and conflicts and dramatic feelings might sometimes be a very good way to become aware of what's going on underneath the surface. So don't get upset if there's some kind of feelings coming to surface of disharmony. It's just showing where disharmony still lingers. So it's just to put more light into there, and try to communicate more, because you see, it's your soul wants to come through here, and you're still acting like a beggar. You don't have to act like a beggar. You want to be loved by other people, but first focus on being loved by yourself, and kind of don't mind what happens so much. Just do your best in every situation, and don't take it personally when other people is not doing their best in their situation, and that might challenge you, and they might challenge you or judge you or make you feel like an outcast. So don't mind that so much. Become like, don't worry, be happy kind of attitude. Be more Buddha-like, Jesus-like, Muhammad-like, more risen. Fake it till you make it, because you're well on your way here. It's just this final test to stand with yourself, even in the midst of you being like like an outcast. So it's the same old story. So, and here we have the now. So the now is 4 of Swords. It might be that you have battled against something that's now taking a rest and don't want to battle anymore. 4 of Swords is Libra. It's keeping things for yourself for a while and trying to heal. 4 of Swords is also when there's peace between 2 warrior tribes, so war and peace. But the peace is not, it's not a real peace. It's not this peace where you have reconnected. It's the peace where you're not talking with each other, this kind of peace. But the 4 of Swords is, it's like a little bit of a funeral. It's just a transition, and you need to maybe to catch your breath or to lay low or to rest during this period. You might have been putting up a edge of a fight and now you need to rest and just download this, what's coming with the moon. You see the moonlight coming through this window. It might be that a high priestess is exhausted and just need to lie and be in an antenna and taking in all the messages. So meditate a lot would be good. You can practice on levitation also, because this person is levitating. I think that human beings in the golden age could levitate, and this is a circus route that we will come back to, because imagine that we were in the golden age, maybe kind of here, and now we are here. And it might be like a good long run before we get back to this golden age. And this golden age might have had like totally different gravity and everything. So maybe it was easy for them to levitate, and it's more hard for us. Our gravitation is pulling us down. Like I'm thinking of lead. For some reason, it's very funny. Okay, and here we have the Empress again. 2 High Priestess, 3 Empress, connected to the 21 world. 2 + 1 3. So abundance. You are 4 of Swords is not at all pregnancy, but it's like a period of waiting, and sometimes pregnancy is a long wait. It might be that I don't see so much impatience here. It's like non-resistance, just giving in to whatever is coming. And what's coming is the Empress, and it might be the rising of the divine feminine into its righteous place of respect, because nature is our foundation for all our lives. Nature can have babies. Nature can have fruits and make food to us and sustain our life. This is what nature does, and nature is perfect. Nature is intelligent, and nature is very harmonious. It's sometimes when human beings have distorted it, the harmony will be gone, but as soon as human leaves, the harmony will be restored rather quickly. So that's a sad story, but it's currently being true. And we are kind of we are sitting on a branch that sustains our life, and we are slowly cutting it off with a little pen knife. And that's not the smartest thing, but we are not specifically smart now. The things that we kind of try to solve problems with the same thing, same kind of thinking that once put the problem there in the first place, like how can we get rid of the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere? It's making our earth heating up, and well, we can spray all the earth with aerosols that will cover the earth so the sun won't shine in, and that will make us not so warm, that will cool down the climate. Well, that's smart. Make it like it has been a volcanic eruption and we won't see the sun for several of years, and we will starve because the crops will fail. And yes, you know, it's no good solution. And we need to be able to think more in a natural kind of way. If we make waste, we need to be able to have something to where the waste is supposed to be as fruitful as poo. The poo is becoming life again. So our poo is plastic, and it's not very good for nature. So this is a rising an evolution of the respect for nature. So it's very beautiful, and it's coming after like an ending of a war of some sort. Not an ending, but a rest at least. And here in the middle we have the Ace of Cups, and this is what your vibrant inner starfish jelly thing that's being able to connect with the divine through your feelings. So it's the energy that the inner child holds and gives to the high priestess here. You can see she's immersed in this water like this. So she has both her soul, the sun above her head, and it's even gone down in her body, and also she has the water in her body. She's immersed in this water. So this is evolution that I see, that Cancer is going through a very beautiful metamorphosis of evolution, and it's going rather smoothly. You're not maybe getting the recognition that you want, but it's kind of you're resting maybe from human beings a little bit, and just restoring your own soul energy, your own source energy. This is the wisdom well, and I have told this story until boredom, but I think it's very telling. It's this with Odin that poked out his one eye and put it in the wisdom well. This is so simple. You can do this without poking out any eye. It's about having your awareness, your eye at your feelings. Feel them. You can start to feel like the vibrations in your hands and feet. Maybe there's some tingling there or some kind of sensation, and you can spread it to the rest of your body, getting awareness. So that's having an eye in the wisdom well, being aware of always what's happening within you. Also, when you're talking with other humans, you can always have a little eye inside of yourself to see how your feelings are reacting to the things that's being exchanged here. So you're able to know what's truth for you and able to respond in a truthful way and saying, well, this is how I feel. So you might be starting to slow down your talking a little bit to be able to be aware and give the right kind of feedback to the person that you're currently with. And here we have this beautiful Six of Wands. So this is you holding this feeling like really high. We can see this is the Neptune symbol here, a very watery planet, and Leo in Jupiter. It's your soul going down and really expressing itself through and through. And it doesn't matter what other people think of you. You're still feeling honorable in you, because you feel that this is the thing, this is right. Now I have found my home in me. So you don't have to be afraid of other people, what they will think or feel of you, because it doesn't taint how you think and feel about yourself. This is when you find yourself and your source here, you find love, because love is coming from the divine to you and you to the divine. We are all love. This is what connects us. This is what's come through the gateway, and this is what we are made of. We just don't realize it. So when you love yourself, you walk in honor like this. And here we have a Knight of Cups. So Knight of Cups might be a Pisces person in your life. Pisces, it's the era that Jesus came with. And it might also be you, of course, Cancer. And it might be another Cancer or a Scorpio. Any kind of water sign, or an offer being made. But this offer is being made with a very, like, an attitude that I'm not good enough. So it might have been going on some conflict in your life, and you might have been putting boundaries and told these people that you have stepped over my boundaries. I'm walking my own path now without you. So that's why we have this peace, but not like commitment, not connection, not forgiveness. Here is like someone coming and saying that they are sorry. But they're coming and saying that they're sorry in this notion that they are not worth loving. So something you might have said might have made them feel like this, but it was probably the truth. And they now, maybe before, what I'm seeing is that you might have held them up into honor because you are very empathic. So you held them up in honor. And when you let them fall, they fell. And they kind of fell from your grace and trying to get back into your grace. So it's very beautiful. But it might also be you trying to get back into someone's grace. Maybe someone has told you off and showed you where their boundaries were. And you feel that you want this connection back. So it's going on in a bigger, greater scale. This is not only you. It has been a big split. I think it was about 12,000 years ago. Big split where humanity became very divided. And so it's not only you. It's like just a symbol. So if you come and say, I'm sorry to someone, that is just a symbol for the whole humanity trying to reconnect like this. So you're just helping. You're just doing the same thing. So you don't have to feel dishonored if this is you, because it's just a person that hasn't found their self-love might be acting out and being rather doing stupid things towards others. But when they found self-love, they won't do so much of these things anymore because they don't have an ego, they have a soul. And the soul is much more powerful in protecting you than the ego ever was. The ego most created different wars because it did have just a singular perspective, me, my body, my survival. But a spirit that has become like this, they don't care so much for their own survival anymore. They honor their body because it's given to them, and this body has traveled through exploding stars to come to them. So of course this is honor. You honor your body, and you don't end your life, or you eat properly and you exercise and you take care. But when the life ends, you are not sad about it because you know you're an eternal soul. But this person here doesn't know this. So when they come and they think that the love that they get from you is the only love that they will ever be given. And that's very sad, but then you can teach them how to find their source and their self-love, and that they are good as they are. It's just that maybe you needed to tell them that you have boundaries. This is how you love yourself, and it doesn't say anything about them. They are allowed in your life when they can respect your boundaries, but if they don't, they need to stay away. It's as simple as that. Okay. This was your now, the first part of October 2017, and here you have a Four of Wands. So that's looking for me like a reconnection instead of just this truth between warrior tribes. And it's coming from the divine, from your soul, and it's a rainbow. Rainbow is for forgiveness. We remember the story of the flood, where there was a rainbow, and God says, I will never do this again to humans, or to the earth, I think he said. And so this is your decision that have created this beautiful thing, and it's self-love again, foundation. You have built a new foundation for yourself from the old foundation that fell or wasn't good enough. You needed to change it, you have made a new platform for yourself, and it's again with self-respect and making your inner space like a where you really monitor your thoughts and your feelings. You don't let them run around crazy. You just listen to them, and you don't let them spin off and make you very upset or dramatic. Instead, you are listening to them like a wise person, like a wise old woman would do when a child comes and say that they are hurt, and you are listening and you are taking care of the situation. So this is a place of love inside of you, but it's also inviting other people in. I'm feeling like this is the connection happening here. At least on an energetic level, but it might also be happening in your life. That's something that you before said no to. You are now having no, it's no walls here, no roof, so everything is very free. It's like person can come, but if they are not respecting the rules of this sanctuary, that's your personal sphere, they are going to have to go outside. And here we have the moon, and it's coming underneath the High Priestess and the Empress here. So you can see it's very emotional. This is Cancer here, this is Libra. Here you have the moon again, and this is pure emotions from the source. So it's something going on with the Divine Feminine here. She's like being a sponge for all this water here, all this subconscious feelings and knowing. So it might be that old wisdom is risen, and it might be feeling scary. The moon is past lives. We know Cancer to be very homey and a little bit drawn to history and drawn to things that has been in the past, and this is the connection to your past lives coming up here, and all the wisdom that you gained in past lives, and all the knowledge that you have kind of downloaded, and also the feelings that you feel right now. So it's something happening here, connecting to the wisdom well. Nature is connecting to the source. It's very beautiful, but it's probably a little bit painful to reconnect the dots like this. It's memories coming back, and all memories is not nice all the time, but you don't have to be afraid of them. Just feel your feelings. Don't be afraid of your feelings. They are your superpower, Cancer. So, and here we have death as well, and death is really good in this situation. It's metamorphosis, and it coming defense and the Divine Feminine, and then death. Death is very masculine. It's connected to the Emperor. 13, 1 + 3 is 4. So this is a gateway. The World card is an ending. The death is also kind of an ending, but the World card is the last card in the Major Arcana. This comes somewhere in the last it's 2/3, and then it's coming death. And here we have the Ace of Wands. So it seems like here's the High Priestess, here's your source, here's your soul coming through probably this gateway, something of the old, some memory coming back from death. It's like your memory being restored here. It's something I'm seeing like the Merkaba of your body. You're restoring the Merkaba of your body. You're restoring, also maybe helping restoring the Merkaba, the magnetic field of the earth. So it's something going on a very high energetic level as well. Something coming back, like maybe the population, like the human being, has suffered some amnesia since we fell out of grace there 12,000 years ago. Out of grace is out of the golden ages. It's just something that happens. We didn't do maybe something wrong. We just needed to go like through hell and back because we needed to we come to even higher and higher spiritual education, and pain is like really good for spiritual education. And I think you are getting back the memories from this what you remembered from previous the fall. And here we have a Two of Cups, so that's a reconnection. And I can't see with whom, because it's a Pisces above there, so it might be water with water. And you have quite a few cards for Leo here, and so Leo and Pisces and Cancer is the most what I can see. You also have Scorpio here with the Death card. And this is Cancer. You can see it's like two things being very attracted by each other because they want to get back again together after this fall of grace 12,000 years ago approximately. So Two of Cups is being connected with real peace, not just, you know, silent treatment, but peace and real love coming through here, and it's coming from your soul. So it might be also coming from a Leo person in your life, maybe wants to reconnect or connect in a better way, in a more soulful way. But this is also talking about your own soul, and it's like you're being risen out of this state of feeling that you're not worthy into worthiness again. So it's very beautiful. Okay, I will take a card from the Oracle of Visions by Cyril Marchetti to see a little bit what has been going on here for you, Cancer. And here we have this card. It's number 20, and it's about human evolution, and all this states what I'm talking about with religion and high priest, with all those religion having like different they have different keys, but everyone is thinking I am the truth, but they are just different keys that unlocks just another mystery, and we are always evolving. So we can't just stay stuck with something. We take what we feel is truth, and the rest we leave behind. Because if you look at the Old Testament, the moral values in the Old Testament is outdated. Humans have better moral than God have in Old Testament. So we are God evolving, okay? So we are now better moral creatures than we were in earlier days. And it's because we are learning. It's because we are living life after life and getting this knowledge. And the knowledge here might be what's coming back here to the death. But it might also be that you need to leave old ways of seeing, like conservative beliefs behind you, to be able to step into this new future. So I will also take a card from the Vibrational Energy Oracle cards by Debbie A. Anderson, illustrated by Heather Brewster. Oh, here it comes, and it's came upside down. We also have another card here, Heal Thyself and New Beginnings. New Beginnings coming upside down, and it's connected to the Death card, and here we have Heal Thyself. I will read this for you. New Beginnings. Here, so I will put this upright so you'll see this picture. For something to begin, something must end. Death. So it might be that maybe you don't want this old thing to end, whatever it is. Yes, okay, it's this with the conservative beliefs, like old beliefs you might not want to let go of. It is the law of balance. How we accept the conclusion of any situation is solely reliant upon who we are at that moment. Go with the flow, or kicking and screaming through death here. So non-resistance. Sacrifice whatever needs to be sacrificed, even if it's your ego or your own personal beliefs, or it might be a person or a situation, a work situation not longer functioning for you. The choice is yours and yours alone, if you will go with the flow or kicking or screaming. But before you choose, decide what is less harmful to your own vibration. So this is like spring wants to new life. I was talking about this with nature being destroyed and this restoration, and we can see here that this is almost like nature's dying and being reborn. and it's need to be restored. The honor of nature needs to be restored, and you might, for your own comfort, you might not want to restore nature and going kicking and screaming into, yes, you know, maybe the governments will come with new laws on tax on gas, and people will riot. So kicking and screaming. So whatever reoccurring dream you are experiencing, either in sleep state or awakened, are not good for you. Some might call them night terrors rather than dreams, but if these are day waking fears, then you need to address them. Change the vibration from trepidation and anxiety to belief, and allow your soul to filter out and heal things that no longer serves you, or that are no longer needed. So heal thyself. This is what I'm saying. There's coming memories into you, or it's like reoccurring nightmares, as was described by this book. And these reoccurring nightmares, they are not trying to freak you out, and they are not a bad vibration. I don't think this. What I think is that they come with messages to you that you haven't been listened to because you weren't brave enough to face them. So it's time to be brave enough to face death, change these memories, everything that comes to this gateway, and really excavate it, not with your mind so much, but with your awareness. The Sun, the Ace of Cups, your soul, this connection. You just feel the feelings of it all and see it. Here's the puddle of your feelings, and this is your awareness, and you just see it and then you feel it. All awareness on this, and this is going to make it heal. So if you have a recurring nightmare, for example, you might have thieves coming into your house and it's unable to lock the doors. So the thieves that's coming into your house, it might be something that you have stolen from yourself, and maybe they are coming to get it back. When you dream of bears, for example, let them eat you. It's very healthy, because then you become the bear, and get this strong and this protection skills. You don't want to be a thief, but you want to see what it is that you are stealing. What is it that you think is not yours? It's like you're not allowed, like you're not, you're a beggar outside. All these dream symbols, if there's a ghost, for example, haunting you, stay and ask, what is it you want? And it will tell you what it is that it wants. It's very good to practice on lucid dreamings, because when you do lucid dreamings, you can do this, what you normally do in awakened state, you can do it in your sleep state. So you never have to come to an awakened state. Like, you don't have to meet the ghost of your past in the awakened state. You can do this in the dream state. So it's very good books for this. And you need to put a lot of focus onto this lucid dreaming. As soon as you lose focus, you might lose the lucid dreaming as well. But as long as you are working with this, it will be there. So you can do some important work during that time, solving a lot of things in your dreams. Okay, my dear Cancer, I hope this helped, and I'm very thankful for you watching this far. And also, I want you to take really good care, and I'm welcoming you back to the second half of October reading that will come in the beginning of October. Okay, bye-bye.